And welcome back, everybody. Our next guests are the CEO of Workshop and Business Opportunities and the head of the DC office of the Libra, the Libra Group. Libra Group, is that right? All right, and they're joining us today for a look at their work to help Bronx business owners. We have Jill Johnson. I met her a long time ago out there in Newark, New Jersey, I believe it was. And she's still out here functioning, doing her thing. Maurice Owens, and of course the Assemblyman, Michael Blake is in the house, you know, doing a lot of things. He doesn't have his sleeves rolled up right about now, but he always has his sleeves rolled up out there in the community doing some great things. We welcome you guys to the show.
Thanks
Thanks for having us.
Now, you have something special that you're working on. Tell us about this organization that you have, Jill.
Workshop and Business Opportunities is an amazing organization that has a 50-year history. This year, in fact, is the 50th anniversary.
You didn't tell me. I met you 50 years ago. You didn't tell me about this. All right, 20 years ago. No,
it's a great organization. I've actually been with the organization since 2011, and I was just drawn to it as soon as I was introduced and saw the curriculum and visited a classroom. It is really just a tremendous experience for entrepreneurs or people who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs who want to get that firm foundation from which to grow and build a successful business.
And Maurice, how did you get involved?
Long story. Started at the White House. Now with the Libra Group, the head of the DC office, a year and a half now. And I actually took my CEO, George Logothetis, to my neighborhood in the Bronx, which is Lambert Houses. And when he got there, he's seen where I grew up, and he's like, Mo, there's so much social immobility here, and we need to do something. And out of that spurred the American Entrepreneur Award with partnerships now in the Bronx with WIBO and in Miami-Dade County with Miami-Dade County College, the community college there. And we're the founding sponsor. And at that moment, it was $500,000 over 10 years, but now we've upped it. And this year, the winners received $125,000 in funding from Libra Group.
Now, Assemblyman, you were also at the White House.
Yeah.
Give us your background.
Well, you know, this is an incredible effort. This is the demonstration when public, private, and not-for-profit partners all come together in a great way. When you think about how the synergy of first, great things are happening in the Bronx, and us always reminding people of that. I tell people often, you know, I wasn't the first person, I won't be the last one that came from the Bronx to work at the White House, and when they get to meet someone like Mo, they can see, you know what, I didn't even know that the Situation Room was beyond just a TV show. Like there's brothers that are actually working in the Situation Room that grew up in our neighborhood. And so this connection all happened because everything we've been talking about for our 3-2-1 vision of economic development, education, equality for all. We then made the connection with the Libra Group and the Concordia Summit, a remarkable event that they do. We did it in New York, then I was honored to be their legislative representative down in Miami. And then the broader conversation was, well, how do we take this to scale? You know, they already had the American Entrepreneurship Award in Miami. They made the decision because of Maurice and George and the entire team to be in the Bronx. And they said, okay, we don't want to just provide an award, we want to make this sustainable. And then comes the relationship that with WIBO and Jill Johnson, who has been doing incredible work in helping entrepreneurs. We did a first cohort over at Boricua College. You know, significant interest and excitement of how do you get access to capital, how do you write a better business plan, how do you grow your business to a different level. So then the partnership was, well, let's not just do this for a few, let's provide 50 scholarships. You know, let's take it to a bigger scale so that more people in the Bronx can realize if you have a dream, it's our job to help you realize that dream.
Yeah, so this is a wonderful opportunity for people to get involved and find out more about how this business thing works, because some people think, you know, I'm going to just go make some money, but don't know the proper steps necessary to making that money. You know, Jill, you've been involved and you've been a CEO of different things for a while.
Absolutely. And for a lot of people, it's about a hustle. So they have passion, they have a purpose, they have something that they like to do. But it's a hustle because they haven't figured out how to formalize it and make it a business. And a lot of that is not for lack of desire, but just lack of knowledge. And that's what WIBO is all about. And these 50 scholarships will enable people to really get the formal education, the knowledge that's necessary to make entrepreneurial success possible.
Okay, so let's rewind just a bit. And people watching, how can people get involved and become a part of maybe obtaining a scholarship?
Yeah, so we have a website. It's AmericanAward.com. The application period for 2017 is January. So you start your process. And then in March, we have partnerships where you can go and learn and tweak your application and figure out a way to adjust your business plan to make it more appropriate to be a contender. And then in June, we're going to announce the winners. So we have a panel of judges too, I'm sorry, and prior to that, a month prior, and then June we announce the winners.
Right, and so people can actually sign up for the workshop and business opportunities. There's still an opportunity for the upcoming cohorts, which starts in September. So they can sign up, so then they will be prepared for the time frame that you just mentioned.
So you have two great things happening simultaneously, right? You have people in the Bronx that can become a part of the cohort for workshop and business opportunities, so they can learn, they can grow to develop their businesses, get their businesses to scale, so that then they can be competitive for the American Entrepreneurship Award. And I have to convey this because sometimes they don't toot their horn in terms of great work that they're doing. Because they saw what was happening in the Bronx and the energy that was happening in the Bronx. The original award was going to be $50,000. Let's gauge it there. Then there was such interest by those that had applied, they decided we're going to have 2 first prizes and an additional prize, and on top of that provide the scholarships. So the Libra Group has been a blessing in providing those resources and really helping move that needle. And through WIBO, now people can understand some of the basics they may not be thinking about. How do I write a business plan?
Yeah.
You know, how do I understand the necessity of keeping my books together? You know, how do I do marketing? How do I, the assessments that sometimes we don't realize. I equate it often, you can have a great, talented student, but sometimes and more times they just need to be coached along the way. It's the exact same thing in business. And so, you know, you have that natural talent, you just have to be guided in that way. Perfect example, Jan Brothers. An African-based company with Bronx ties that has a ginger-based drink that all they were saying is we just need a little bit more guidance in the steps along the way. They won the award. And now they can go and tell people, we want you to be part of WIBO, we want you to be part of the American Entrepreneurship Award, we want you to understand these opportunities so that we can continue to grow the Bronx and develop the Bronx the way we need to.
Well, you do a lot in these areas. I mean, it was a few months back you brought that organization, that TV program here.
Yeah, we had Shark Tank that
Shark
came.
Tank, yes.
We did the MSNBC event on Growing Hope.
Yeah.
You know, to me, you know, like Mo, this is
Gotta
home
give
for
it
me.
to you. We gotta give it to you, sir.
This is my path. I grew up in Crescent and Burnside, you know, and I remember vividly the talk of entrepreneurship would not even be something that would go through many folks' minds. You were just trying to make it, you know, you're just trying to get out.
Right.
And so our responsibility is how to make sure someone has an education and a chance for a job. You give them that, you can transform everything else.
And we have that everything within WIBO.
We do.
We give them the money, and then we
We'll
grab
give
them by
them
the
the
hand and say, hey,
education.
these
Give
are
them
the
the
steps
education,
that
right.
you
The money
need to
comes over here,
take
that's
to
different.
get you
Right.
where you need to go.
Right, the money will come once you have the education and you understand the business that you're really in. And now what we want to see, though, is people taking advantage of these opportunities, Bob. What can be very disappointing is when the opportunities are there and we don't see people taking advantage of them. Here we have 50 scholarships that have been made available by the Libra Group. We have the Assemblyman who has been working so hard to make opportunity possible and available. Now we want to see the residents out there, you know, really grabbing hold and taking advantage, because we all are here and want to help, and there's so many more organizations here in the Bronx that are all here ready to serve.
All right, so once again, Maurice, we're
Yes.
going to do what? How do we get ready for this?
Well, let's say first, they
Go to
should
the
go
website.
to the WIBO website.
The WIBO website.
Which is WIBO.org. And they should register for our upcoming cohort, simple application. And then they should
Go to AmericanAward.com. As a CEO, my CEO, Joe, look at that, it says, Mo is good to do good. So we want people to have
Looks like a
opportunity.
CEO, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can see the shape
Yeah,
right
yeah.
here. It's happening right here.
My CEO.
I mean, you want to create ladders of opportunity for those who need it. And that's what we're here for. So AmericanAward.com.
So we want people in the Bronx, the 1.4 million people in the Bronx, to realize WIBO.org, American Award. We need you to go to these websites so you can learn about what's going on. You know, we are eliminating the barriers.
Right.
You know, that is the goal. We want people to understand and to sign up and to learn about this support and make more people aware that this is happening right now.
Weebles don't wobble and they don't fall down.
That's right.
Wow.
You're dating us.
Wow.
No, that was a, anyway.
You out here jamming.
But
that's
I'm
all right.
glad I'm glad you guys came down. You know, this is very, good information. How important is small business, not only in the Bronx, but around the world?
I mean, you look at the data that, Minority Business Development Agency says that by 2050, people of color be the majority in this country. The majority of jobs that are created in this country are through small businesses. But this is also about not just small business, but minority and women-owned businesses and giving them the access that they need. So this is going to help transform the Bronx, and we really believe it's going to transform the country through partnerships with WIBO and the American Entrepreneurship Board. We can do these things.
One thing I'd like to point out is that actually we have data that suggests that participants in WIBO are 30% more likely to still be in business after 5 years. So we know that WIBO works. We need to take advantage of the opportunity.
So you guys have a follow-up plan too. It's not just here, take this and you turn your back.
Now it's about long-term success.
Yes.
And it's also the power of inspiration. That one person inspires 500. That 500 inspires 50,000. So without hope and inspiration, you don't have a vision. So that's what this award is for. It's really to inspire those who never was believed in. So believing in someone is the biggest thing you can do with this award.
And finally, I'm going to jump on something like this. How does the upcoming election support or not support what you're doing?
Look, I think it's just pretty straightforward when you see that you have the opportunity to sustain the momentum of President Obama, who has had close to 60 plus months of job growth in the private sector by investing in businesses, versus what you may be seeing on the other side, where they're talking about trying to kick people out. So I think the reality is, if you care about business, and specifically that the Bronx is now the most diverse county in America, according to the census. There's an 89.7% likelihood that any two people at random you meet in the Bronx will be a different ethnicity. If you care about diversity, you care about entrepreneurship, you care about growth, you have to be a part of these programs and you have to vote.
Hard-working Assemblyman Michael Blake, give him a big round of applause, everybody. CEO Maurice Owens and Jill Scott, CEO
Jill Johnson.
Jill Johnson.
You out here jamming
Where
stuff.
did I get Scott
Exactly.
from?
You thinking about music, man. You out here at Afro Punk probably this weekend. That's what's going on right now.
That's it. You're a superstar anyway. Jill Johnson, give him a big round of applause, everybody. CEO, WIBO. All right, give me a number one more time, or an address where we can go for more information.
WIBO.org.
WIBO.org. Boom. All right, we got to take a quick break right here. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Open next.